Hello everyone, and welcome to the Man Cave. As always, I'm your host, Mac. Today we're going to be doing another whiskey review. This time we're going to be reviewing a Canadian whiskey that's called Bareface. And as always, I've got my trusty notes handy. What got me interested in this particular whiskey is that I discovered it's being produced by a local winery that I've done quite a bit of work at over the years. I was up on site there a few weeks ago, and they were bottling whiskey, so I inquired, what the brand was, and they told me it was Bareface. So I found that kind of interesting because I didn't realize that they were dabbling in whiskey or spirits at all. So I went to our local liquor store and picked up a bottle of it. And I thought we'd give it a try here today. So the backstory on this whiskey is that Mission Hills purchased it from an unnamed distillery in Ontario, and it's bought as a single grain whiskey that's been aged in ex-bourbon barrels for a minimum of 7 years. They buy this whiskey, transported almost across the country here to the Okanagan Valley. Once the whiskey reaches its destination here in the Okanagan Valley, it's placed in tight-grained French oak barrels that have been used to age Bordeaux style wine for at least 7 years. The whiskey's put in those barrels. It's aged for a predetermined amount of time. I'm not sure how long they keep it in those barrels. Then after they reach that time, then they transfer it to 3-year-old air-dried virgin Hungarian oak barrels to finish. The makers say that this 3-barrel finishing process provides rye-like notes and a rich texture. We're going to find out here shortly. Mark Anthony founder, Anthony Van Mandel, says, in creating Bareface Triple Oak, we have focused on developing an exceptional whiskey by challenging norms, being obsessive in our initial barrel selection and finishing it in unique and interesting ways. So that, to me, that sounds quite unique. Actually, I don't know another whiskey where they do that 3-barrel process. It could be done by others, but this is the first I've heard of it. So as mentioned, this whiskey is available locally at our government liquor stores, and the price point on this is about $40 Canadian, which is fairly reasonable. I believe it's a fairly low production run. I don't know how many bottles or cases of it they're doing at a time. So it's quite possible that it may sell out at some point in time if there's a healthy demand for it. And also, I don't know if it's being exported to the U.S. at this time either. I suspect it's only being sold in Canada right now, but again, it could actually be marketed internationally. It probably depends on how it goes over in Canada. So let's go all the notes I have on this. I'm going to, they've got some pretty slick promotion videos for this. I'm going to put a link to one of them in the description of my video there, so you can go out and have a look at it, and just it gives you a little more background on this, the thoughts behind this process. Nice clear bottle. So like I say, we've got these claw marks on here from a bear, I guess. Clawing the bottle is the idea. So even the label's got a little tear in it here by purpose there, where the claw goes through. That looks pretty good in the bottle. So we're going to move on to the tasting now. Okay, just had to do a quick camera check here to make sure that the memory card hadn't died or the battery hadn't died or something like that. A little bit paranoid now since the last time that happened, so just wanted to do a quick check. So, without further ado, I'm going to open this guy up and do a little taste. Oops. Yeah, just leave that. Well, piece of plastic here is quite persistent, but don't worry about it for now. All right. Definitely doesn't have any kind of an overpowering odor to it. Odor. Doesn't seem to have any kind of an overpowering bouquet to it. It's actually quite neutral. Yeah, it's just mostly what's coming through is the aroma you'd expect from a regular rye whiskey. Yeah, definitely. It goes down a lot smoother than you would expect from a single grain whiskey. Finishes quite well too. There's no harshness or anything on the back end of it. I was looking at some other reviews on it, and they kind of said it was more of the fruitiness was more pronounced because it had been aged in the wine barrels, but not really sensing that much. It's definitely not a fruity aroma to it anyways. Yeah, it might be just a tinge of towards the back end there, just a tinge of fruit flavor to it. But what is it? It's like if you took this is 40 Creek. This is another Canadian produced rye. This one is, it's more, there's a bit of a rye, has a bit of a spiciness to it, a little bit of a bitterness to it there. So whatever this aging process seems to take that out of, I'm guessing that this is a rye whiskey. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming it is. But it takes that kind of that edge off of it, so it's much more of a smoother sensation when you're drinking it. It's very good, very good. It's definitely a good sipping whiskey. Something to enjoy on a cold day. Yeah, what's the alcohol volume on this guy? It's a little bit higher than a normal rye, I think. Yeah, it's 42.5%. And this guy here is 43%, so I guess it falls in the regular range of a Canadian rye whiskey. I don't know what Crown Royal is, but it's probably in about that range too. Yeah, that's definitely a very easy drinking whiskey. I think even people that don't really care for Canadian whiskeys would find that a good sipping one. That's very good. Would definitely recommend you buy that if you get the chance. It's Bareface. I know it's available here in British Columbia, Ontario for sure. Not sure where, like I said, I'm not sure where else they're marketing it, but if you have a chance to try it, I would definitely recommend trying it. It's very reasonably priced. I think I said the price point was around $40. It's, I believe I paid $36 plus tax for this, so it came up to be about $40. So as always, thank you for watching and cheers.